And back in. Okay, quick recap. I'm Jillian. I'm with Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Ray, and Christo. Episode 7 of On the Backs of Gods. I'm going to give a quick recap, and we will jump right into it. Last session, you had taken a prisoner after the combat between the man with the gold on his chin that had killed Ave, his companion, a spellcaster, and the thugs they had employed who are all no longer with us. You took the time to take care of those bodies, tried to find a way to catch up to the two that escaped without much avail. You took this man in for interrogation, Drepa. During this, Roshan charmed him, was able to get some information out of him regarding the name of the man who killed Ave, that it is something along the lines of Mikhail or Mikhail. During this, the bodies of his companions were set ablaze to avoid corruption. Roshan, you led him over to this stack of bodies. After instructing him to remove his coat, revealing him to the elements, which slowly began to kill him as it's too cold to survive in the valley. As he began to take his last breath, you made sure that his body fell forward into the fire. During this saga, you spoke with your god, who tried to urge you forward to gather your team and keep pushing onwards to find this beacon, this torch, and to eventually take it home. If there was, you guys acquired 2 sleds, which you eventually found out how to use. Gorbjorn invoked the ability of a bird who came to his aid and kind of scoped out the area. You all moved forward, trying to keep Ave's body from corruption. You traveled for about a day before you decided to set up camp. You have in your possession a scroll left by Ave. A scroll that says, what must all of you give me in order to keep it? With 6 circles around it, one of them lit. During the night, while Nana tries to inspire the group, saying that she will continue forward, a second circle illuminates. And in the night, Roshan and Nana have a heart-to-heart, speaking of the stars and the past and the future. And Roshan remembers speaking to Ave, and he remembers giving him his word. And that is where we left off, was the 2 of you at watch, watching the crackling of the fire and the swirl of snowy, icy wind around you. It's incredibly cold. Even with your new jacket, Nana, it is near unbearable, and you're a lot closer than you would normally be to the fire, but it's the only way around it when you're not inside of the tent. What would you guys like to do?
I wish Ave were here. He not only could he perform magic to make us warm, he was just a warm person.
He really had a way of making people feel welcome and at ease.
He did. So, was that only last night? Last night when we were on watch, he made me promise that I would finish this quest and see it through to its completion. And I gave him my word. And earlier tonight, you did the same with, well, kind of picking up his mantle and saying that you would lead us as best you can. Do you think that has anything to do with the circles on the scroll?
The riddle does say something to the effect of, what must all of you give me in order to keep it? I don't know who is supposed to be speaking there, but I can only imagine that something that one must give in order to keep is one's word. So perhaps it expects us to make some sort of pact, each of us?
A promise? Yeah. Well, I don't think it's worth spending the whole night waking everybody up over, but...
Well, no, indeed, they certainly need their rest. But perhaps we can bring it up tomorrow morning, once everyone's awake.
I agree.
I think that's actually a very clever turn. You always did have a knack for words and wordplay, Ro.
Well, it all comes back to Ave. He was a good teacher, a good friend.
And a good brother, and I believe for some of us, a pretty damn good father.
Sorry, is it about time for third watch yet?
Probably sometime soon. What time, how much time has elapsed on our watch between our previous heart-to-heart and up to now?
12 minutes.
Yeah! We're 12 minutes in, it's like...
gotta wait out the hours. I would say after asking basically, are we there yet? And
oh, not necessarily, but...
and then I would say after maybe 20 minutes of kind of awkwardly sitting and waiting, knowing, just kind of counting down the moments, third watch is now here. Who is taking third watch?
I will go wake up Gorbjorn.
And I will tap Fen. And before we retire for bed, did you have any of that tea left by any chance, Ro?
Oh,
May need some.
of course. Yeah, I'm not sure how long it will last, but now's as good a time as ever. So he gets out.
A little to spare.
Yes, Ro gets out another dose because you had asked for a single dose.
I did earlier, but...
And I don't know how long it takes to wear off. So if you can't fall asleep in 15 minutes or so, just come and get another.
Well, hopefully this will knock me out, but thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.
You take another dose of onset, and it is, I would say, at first a bit difficult to fall asleep, and you can feel your heart a bit in your chest, but I would say probably from what the day had held, that is enough. So you do not fall asleep very peacefully, I would say, but you do fall asleep. The third watch is Gorbjorn and Fen. Both of you on watch. I need somebody to roll me a d12.
I got one right here. 7.
All right. The night passes and the sun begins to rise uneventfully. The night does not come with any more terrors than the day did. And all of you awake the next morning. Nana, you feel like it's a bad situation to be in because you woke up sweating. And now it is just freezing kind of under your clothes. but as you kind of slowly make your way to the fire, you are able to alleviate the sensation under the jacket. But it seems that the doses between the onset were far enough apart that it was just you amping your body up and then passing out, kind of like you ran a marathon, and then your body is just still trying to go. All of you are awake, keeping the fire going, having breakfast, possibly a drink. What would you like to do?
Before we get too far into proceedings, Ro and I were talking last night on our watch, and I believe Ro had a fairly good point about the riddle on the scroll.
So Ro this morning looks like shit. Probably didn't get much sleep after handing out some drugs. And he picks up the scroll and says, well, when we first saw the scroll, it was shortly after I had given Ave just 2 nights ago now, my word that I would finish this quest, see it through to its completion, and bring whatever we are looking for back to Galunder. And when we first found the scroll, there was a single of the circular glyphs lit up. And well, later yesterday evening, while Nana was really taking charge, and well, she gave her word and said that she would lead us to our goal, and
bring everyone back alive.
And then the next time we checked out the scroll, another circle was gleaming. And what if that's the answer to our riddle, and we must give our word in order to keep it?
There are very few things in this life one must give in order to keep.
Does anyone have any thoughts?
Are you holding the scroll out right now?
Yeah, I imagine Ro was holding it.
Gorbjorn would then go up to it and pick it up to his face and yell, "Gorbjorn!" No.
You're right, Gorbjorn. That is technically your word.
It is your name, if nothing else. Yes, bless your heart.
But I think what I was getting at was that it maybe needs to be a promise, which is another form of a word.
Well,
Something you must give so that you can keep it.
I've always promised, and I will continue to promise to always follow Lady Sator's word to every, and continue fulfilling her prophecies in this one as well. That's all I would be able to give.
You watch as a third circle illuminates.
Oh,
There we are.
Well,
We're
I
on
think
a roll.
it works.
that's
That would
amazing.
seem.
Ro, it's such amazing that you figured that out. You're good with riddles.
I couldn't have done it without Nana and Ave.
I should have you on more of my quests. I have so many riddles. Maybe it wouldn't have taken 3 years to get here if I had asked someone to help me out at some point.
Well, better late than never, eh?
Yes. Guess so.
Well, that being said, I wondered, Saga, your word to Lady Sada does pertain to her prophecies and her visions, but that also includes our quest.
Yes.
Naturally, Rose word to Ave to pursue the ending of this quest, see it through to its completion, also pertains to our quest. I, of course, promise to see us all through and back home alive. I wonder, does the word need to be pertinent to the quest, or does it need to be pertinent to each other?
Oh. Well, try. She pulls out one of like whatever they're eating for breakfast, probably some of berries and some other some tea. Gives it to Gorbjorn. Promise to drink this and then drink it. See what happens.
I promise drink, and I go ahead.
No more circles.
Okay, well, we have sussed that out
Frederick
well.
scratches his head.
It was a trick to get him to drink water.
He's like,
That's exactly what
terrible.
Frederick's thinking. I've
Constantly
never seen that
fuel
before.
him to hydrate.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know who we're supposed to give our word to, but it seems that Roshan and Nana have given their word to complete this quest, and I will not leave their side. They will have my aid and help at every turn to protect Galunda, to protect Briarheart, to protect the people that live outside of this wretched valley, and I will do everything I can to see that through.
Fourth circle illuminates.
ooh,
Right. Not to put undue pressure upon either of you, Tordrick or Gorbjorn, but I believe if we can hit upon the right promise, we might just see this open today.
I promise to fight. Does that go?
Yeah!
hey!
Right?
Fifth
He-
circle illuminates.
High five!
That'll be an easy one to keep.
No, don't leave me hanging, please.
Ah!
Yes. Okay.
Yeah! Gorbjorn and Saga, high five. It's the most beautiful thing we've ever seen.
Dancing lights.
Tordrick, I don't want to pressure you into making a promise to the group, but I suppose you're the last one. This circle's for you.
No pressure.
None whatsoever, my friend. If you need to think on it, you can think on it.
Well, I remember. I remember speaking with all of you around him, Ave, and I said, "Sounds like one hell of a party. I'll come along and make sure everybody." I promised to keep everybody as healthy as I could.
And well liquored, I do recall, and I believe you have kept that promise so far.
Yes, I may have to cut down on my own take for everybody else to keep having some, though. But yes, I do make that promise, and I did make that promise in front of
And do you
him.
promise to continue to keep it?
Yes, I do.
The sixth
He puts his head
circle
up.
illuminates.
All right, so Nana's looking at the scroll. Rose holding it. What's going on? What's happening? I'm excited.
First off, I will say I sent you all the scroll document.
Yes. Oh, yes.
We're all like crowding around and by the fire, all on top of each other.
You watch as all six circles illuminate and kind of turn into one full circle. And there's a glow that kind of, you have to like squint away from a bit. And once it dies down, the riddle is gone, the circles are gone, and the seal is gone. The scroll is able to be opened.
Well, go, bro.
Yes. Ro
Also,
opens.
it is in common, just when you get it open.
Ro opens it and says, "Would you like me to read it out loud?"
I think that would be best.
There's a lot here. This page says, "If you are reading this, that you have all given me your word that you will complete this quest. Thank you. I have not been very forthcoming with information. Perhaps it was to make myself feel more useful than I was. I'm not sure when and if I will leave you alone on this quest, so I will include as many details as I can. I will also include information on what to do with the dilemma that is my corpse. That is, of course, if you heeded Saga's warning and have not cremated me. If you have not set me ablaze, I do not blame you. You have done what you were taught to do. Hopefully, this will not add Gulveg's power to the corruption of the valley. I care for you all deeply. Ave Hemming."
We did dodge a bullet on that.
Yes, very good.
What's a
Thank you
bullet?
all for listening.
Thank you for warning us, Saga.
So Ro will. Is there multiple pages or is it
Yes,
all?
there are 3 pages.
Okay, so Ro will hand out that first one. Does anyone else care to read the second?
I'll take.
Okay.
I can take the second one.
Each page starts with the question at the top, so you know when it ends. My
Okay.
document is okay.
Nana sort of looks over her page and reads from it. What are you looking for, and where is it? The first step of the journey will be to head north to the village of Gallon. It should be an abandoned village by a lake near the base of the mountain. Somewhere in the lake town, there should be a natural bridge leading onto the mountain. The bridge will take you to the oasis. The artifact is described as harder than bone, white as the snow, a symbol of unity unhanded. I do not know what sort of horrors will stand in your way, and what I know of this oasis is limited. There is a source of power there, an artifact that holds corruption at bay. I outfitted the statue of Gulveg with glyphs that will amplify that ability. That may not be enough. In Arentoft, you will find an old friend of mine named Dagwood. Dagwood has made something to help us focus the power in the artifact once you have it. Let Dagwood give me my last rites. I hope you can forgive me.
Have we heard of Arentoft?
You have heard of Arentoft. It is a town. It's not very big. It is on the west coast, on like the other side of the mountain.
Okay.
So it's kind of northwest-ish of Galunder.
Shall I read the last one? What should you do with me? On the topic of my corpse, I hate to burden you, but this needs to be done. The ground in the valley is too corrupt to leave me in funeral pyre or not. I hold the last gift of Gulveg, her power, her magic. I cannot allow her to be corrupted. Please take my body home and place me under the statue of Gulveg, like you would do any man or woman who has fallen. There you can burn my body and honor Gulveg. At the funeral, I will need a bracelet of hair from a loved one, an item of minimal importance, an item of great importance, a gem of worth, something one cannot explain. And I'm going to need everyone to carve a rune of protection onto me. One on each of my limbs, my heart, and my head. Make sure to set the artifact in the statue, then you may set my corpse ablaze. I ask that one of you wears my symbol of Gulveg, my chief's crest, and keep it safe. Keep it with you all always. Never let it go. Thank you. And Ro, upon reading the last line, just starts to, like, silent tears start to fall down his face.
We will have to find those men.
We need to find his crest.
That witch.
Isn't there some magic, anything that could maybe point us in the right direction? Once we have the artifact in hand, we're so close to it. We can't just turn around now. We can't abandon the artifact where it is, but the longer we are here, the further away those two get.
The only way I know to get direction is to finish the prophecy I'm on and get the next. We just need to continue.
If we lose their trail, who knows if or when we'll ever find them again. They could fall in the valley. The demon that lives in the rift, or the bear that was corrupted that nearly killed us, may kill them. How will we find them then? How will we recover Ave's crest? We don't know where they're going, or even if they'll leave this valley alive.
Just have to deal with that after, I suppose.
I don't believe Gulveg would leave an artifact like that in the valley to rot. They'll make it out. They made it this far and halfway back, so they'll make it out, and we'll find them.
They made it this far with numbers far greater than our own, or greater than our own. We slew all but 2 of them.
I can pray. Perhaps the 9 sisters will point me in the right direction if I know what I'm looking for.
You recall Ave's crest, the sign of the Chief of Galunda, don't you? The 3 spear symbol.
I do.
Then
I can
do
pray.
please pray upon it to your sisters of fate, and hopefully once we have retrieved the artifact from the mountain, the oasis, they will have some answer for us. Perhaps Golveg herself will.
I also believe we should head on to the oasis. There is the question of our rations. If we turn back today and then turn back again to head to the oasis, we may not have enough to get ourselves out of the valley, and I haven't seen anything in the valley worth eating.
Yes.
Tordrick looks around as if he's looking at everyone as if, should I do this? Should I do this now? Do you want me to wait? He starts fumbling with his little figures that he has and the things he puts out when he's going to do any type of praying. Should I wait? He's holding the things in his hands.
I don't think there's a bad time to pray to the 9 sisters.
By all means. If nothing else, perhaps it will cement for us which direction we will have to look once we finish our business with the artifact.
Well,
Okay.
Tordrick does his ritual. I'm going to scout ahead on the path.
Okay.
So Tordrick is going to cast Locate Object in his prayer.
Mm. What is there a distance on
Yeah,
Locate?
there's definitely a distance. Yeah, it's 1,000 feet.
Okay. Is that a ritual casting, or is it, how long does it take to cast?
1 action.
One action. Cool. You set down all your figures in order. You cast locate object. Could you also roll me religion with advantage because you're currently casting a spell?
The high was 19.
Okay. You get down, you're praying to these figures. A different figure, not the one that had shook slightly and had a bit of a glow to it before you encountered the bear. A different one, you watch it shake a little, and it falls like away from you, pointing back down the spine. You do not feel the item within your range, but your god is informing you that the crest is in that location. That is where the crest has gone. But you cannot feel how far away it is. It's more than 1,000 feet.
Tordrick jumps up. He goes, "It's far away. It's that way. It's very far away, but it's that way." And he points opposite direction down the spine.
Well, then we've got at least a place for us to start looking once we've finished in the oasis. And perhaps, Tordrick, if the Nine Sisters won't mind us bothering them a second time before we set out in that direction, just to make sure we're still heading in the right way.
As long as we have some parties, I'll be happy. Celebration. He smiles.
Once we get back home, I'm sure many will want to celebrate Ave's life. They'll be happy to have him back. One word.
Okay. Fen, could you give me a perception roll as you walk ahead along the spine?
18.
As you're looking ahead, the first thing that catches your attention is the sky. It's slowly getting dimmer out instead of brighter. And you can feel a pickup in the wind. You think there is going to be some sort of storm, worst case scenario, a large blizzard. It is rapidly approaching. You think you maybe have a couple hours before it is in full swing and you know what it is. The second thing that catches your attention, after the troubling information of a storm, the second piece of troubling information is you look down at the spine and you see a slight flicker in the glyphs. They don't look as bright as they did yesterday.
Are we still on the spine, or are we on the mountainside?
Both. The spine keeps going.
All right, I'm gonna head back to the party.
Okay.
We need to start moving. We need to decide now if we're heading forward or backward. Whatever Ave did to this spine that illuminated these runes and cleared it of snow, made it a viable path for us, seems to be fading, and the sky does not look good. Seem to have a storm incoming, some sort of what looks to be a gale. We may have a few hours, we may have less than that, but we need to decide now if we're heading forwards or backwards. But we cannot stay on this mountainside, on this spine, while it happens.
Don't want
Well-
to speak for everyone, but I do believe it will be best for all of us if we make it to the oasis before that storm hits. If nothing else, it will be good shelter.
Anna, you need to speak for everyone. Ave is gone. Someone needs to lead us. You are Ave's younger sister. You are his successor. Someone needs to speak for us because we cannot put every single thing to a vote. You are the best suited to deal with these environments. You have the experience, the knowledge, the strength to do this. Show us the way forward, whichever way you decide that is.
I will follow you, Nana. I believe this. I don't quite know what to do next as far as the prophecy goes, but what I know for sure is that you guys are a part of it, and wherever you go will be correct and blessed by Lady Seder.
Right. All right then. We're not getting caught out in a gale. We're going to make all possible speed up the mountain. We're going to try to aim for this oasis that Ave has indicated we need to head for. If nothing else, we can shelter out the storm there and make our way back down the mountain afterwards. Hopefully it won't be bad enough to completely overrun all of the guiding marks illuminated by these runes. Hopefully we won't have lost their illumination completely by the time the storm has passed, but it's simply a risk we'll have to take. If nothing else, Fen and I will be able to scout our way back down the mountain, coming back the way we came up.
Well, we heard the lady. Let's break camp.
Right.
I'm no lady, Ro, but the compliment's appreciated nonetheless.
Everybody listen to Lady Nana. Let's get going.
I never asked for this.
Out her chest a bit and is just pushing dirt around. I got it.
Yeah.
You guys take apart camp as quickly as you can. You gather up everything you may need. You put out the fire, and you can just see that the sun is disappearing behind clouds. You're just in complete shade, making the temperature drop even further. You are still able to go, but it is a bit painful in the extremities. Gorbjorn, as you go over to get your sled, which has some supplies and holds the body of Ave, you can see that like gripping the edges of the sled look like tiny little black vines that have just kind of like overnight grown and have just gotten over the lip of the sled.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Hell no, hell no.
Would definitely take my hand axe and start chipping it off.
Okay.
So just be able to free it.
Easy enough to do. They're so small, it's not strong enough to withstand basically anything at this moment. And you free the sled and kind of move it from that spot. When you move it away, it almost looks damp underneath, and it is black and is almost molded. After you kind of move the sled along, the sled doesn't seem to carry any of that, but somehow in the snow, the ground in the shape of that sled is just damp and has like kind of whitish gray splotches and spots molded in this rectangular shape.
Does Nana see that, notice that, the black mold looking type of stuff in the snow where the sled was left behind?
I mean, I would say that your camp isn't incredibly big, and I would assume you guys wouldn't put Ave just like, keep him over there.
Way over there!
Push him over there, it's fine.
Out of sight, out of mind, it's fine. No, I'm kidding.
Your brother smells bad, by the way.
Yeah, you definitely can. You can see this. It's stark black against white snow.
Has anyone freed up a bottle? Have we used anything? No one's.
There's empty casks.
Can I have one, please?
Roderick gets one.
Take this cask and pop it open and scoop up some of this snow, sludge, mold, and seal it up and Gonna take some string and tie it around so we know this is not a drinking cask.
Mhm.
Label
We do
it
not
in
wanna
such
mix
a
that
way, and yeah, I'm just gonna bring some of this with us.
Okay.
Study, if nothing else.
When you scoop it up, the worst way to describe it is like a very solid yogurt skin. It is
Oh,
the second you scoop it up, it separates from the snow and just kind of sloughs on the edges, and you are just kind of left with a skin of corruption and rot that you quickly kind of move into one of these casks and tie off and make sure everybody is aware. Don't drink this one. Please don't.
once that's all done, I'm going to take whatever's left of the fire, whatever pieces of wood are still burning or viable for burning, and pile as many as I can over that spot where the yogurt skin of corruption was left behind, and just leave that fire burning on there for a while, just while we're finishing packing up camp, because God knows, if we come back down the mountain and there's something growing out of that, I'm going to lose it.
I truly am starting to hate my choice of words. First, there's a corrupted carpet. Now we got corrupted yogurt skin, and I'm really
No,
starting
no.
to realize.
Yogurt Skin of Corruption is my favorite band. I don't know what.
It's a dark fantasy punk band.
They're going to be at the Tabernacle, so I think we should all get tickets. Yeah, you collect this rot. You put ashes and pieces of timber on top, hoping to kind of deter it from continuing.
Whatever might burn away or dry up whatever is there, whatever might be able to like just purge it, and Nana will say a prayer or two for Golveg over the stuff, just to be extra safe, because we don't want anything coming up out of this.
Hey, Nana, would you roll me a religion check real quick?
Yeah, sure, why not?
As you pray over this spot.
Yeah, well, religion isn't my strong suit. That was more Ave's thing. I rolled badly too, so that's a 6.
As you pray to Golveg, you feel nothing. And that's not incredibly new to you. The only time you've actually ever just felt the spirit was when multiple people were around, on your own, either in the woods or in your room. There's never been a moment of feeling Golveg, and this moment is no different.
Well, I hope you're listening. If nothing else, then at least for his...
I rolled to see if Tortrig notices that.
Okay,
Prayer?
roll perception.
19.
Oh yeah, you could just see the devastation. You just she tries to conceal it, but you can tell that the prayer was not fruitful.
Right. He walks up quietly as she's giving that emotional move in her body, and he just kind of says quietly, "Give it time. Give it time."
Could
And he walks
Saga,
away.
could Saga also?
You know, yeah, sure. Honestly, you see two people kind of gathering around this sludge spot. Easy enough to see.
Yeah. Skips up. Yeah, exactly what Tordrick said. Lady Seda never answered any of my questions. This is the most I've ever spoken to her before, ever. So, I mean, it takes time. Just have faith.
I'll do what I can. I've not been much of a, I suppose, faithful person leading up to now. I've always been much more a person of my senses. Perhaps that's why leading the village never quite lended itself very much to me, but one can but try.
arm around Tordrick. Well, you have two experienced people here that will help you the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
Will either of your faith keep us warm if we don't make it to safety by the time this gale strikes? We need to get moving.
Fen holding supplies and like foot on a sled, like, hey.
Yeah, all right.
God's
Fenn's got a
cool
good
and all,
point.
but
You're right. You're
rather-
right. Yes. All right. Yes.
There might be something I can do to help. Okay. Skips forward to the front of the group. All right. So, I had this idea. Since from what? Don't look at me like that. Stop it. All right. I had this idea from last time when we made camp, and you told me to get all the snow out of the way. So this is what we can do. Everybody, come here and stand with me in this square. And she draws a square in the snow.
All
Right. Now, just a second. And she, using Molder, pushes all the snow out from where they're standing. So they're standing on the ground. So there's a little poof. And then pushes it back to where the sleds are. So we walk here in this clear area. And then the sleds are in the snow behind us. And as we walk, I continue to push it. And then we don't have to stand in the snow. And it's so much warmer.
That's
My
a,
boots are always wet and I hate it.
that's a
Saga.
that's a good idea, Saga. Will
You're
it not
brilliant.
exhaust you?
It'll be all right. It's I've never tried to hold up a spell like this for this long, but it should be all right. I kind of want to try it. I want to help. I can't carry anything, so
Eyeballing up the mountain based on the distance that we've made it up and the distance that we have yet to go, can Nana guesstimate about how much further we have to go or how much faster we'd need to travel to make it to the oasis, which she's guessing is at the top or somewhere close to it?
No roll is necessary. I'm going to give you what you know and what you could assume.
Okay.
First off, you do not know where the oasis is.
No.
You have officially traveled about two-ish days worth onto this path, onto the spine and up into the mountain. When you look ahead, you can't see the end of the spine, especially now with the clouds and the swirling winds and snow. You honestly do not know how far away it is. It may not be on the top of the mountain. If it is, you think maybe another handful of days you might be close, but you do not know. It is a shot in the dark for you.
Saga, I think that's an absolutely brilliant idea, but I have to insist, if you start tiring out, you need to take a break, all right? We'll ride on the sleds if we must.
all right. Okay, it's warmer. I don't like
Yes,
the
I-
snow. There's just so much snow here. I've never
You're
traveled
not
somewhere where
wrong.
there's been so much snow.
Bless
You
you,
find
sweet
joy
summer
in all
child.
of these things, and you can't find joy in the same thing that Gorbjorn did with making balls of snow. He molds snow. We've seen him do it. It brings him great joy. I must insist we start moving now.
Yes, I agree. Let us make our way onwards. We don't know how much further we've to go. Let's go as far as we can, as quickly as we can, without exhausting ourselves immediately.
Uh,
All right.
Saga and I will take point. Her clearing the snow, me keeping an eye, everyone else take places on sleds and follow along.
Okay. Saga, you focus in on your power, and this is, I'm just double checking. I'm pretty sure this is a cantrip, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is.
You're like, it's a 5th level spell. You're into
Yes, I
It's
leveled up while you guys were
fine.
sleeping and chatting.
Ooh.
She's doing push-ups. She's like, I'll get there.
This is my arc.
You start pushing the snow, and there's a moment where you're like, kind of like a very strong plow horse, where you do feel force kind of against you, but at the moment it is not an issue, though you could see how it could become an issue later.
Understandable.
I will say that because snow is just you know, if Gorbjorn can move the snow, I would assume Saga can move the snow. I am going to have some checks along the way.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Sensible.
You all start making your way. Saga trying to keep the way clear so that they do not have to trudge through the snow while her and Fen are on foot. Would people who are proficient in, is anybody proficient in nature?
I am.
I am.
Go ahead and give me a roll, please, a nature roll.
11.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, okay. As you're riding in the sled, Nana, I mean, Fen has brought your attention to the fact that there is a storm of some type approaching.
Mm-hmm.
And an hour passes. Saga, go ahead and give me a concentration check. Roll Constitution for me.
Okay.
An hour passes, and it does not really seem any closer. It's a bit darker, but the wind hasn't picked up. Nothing is falling from the sky at a higher rate. It's kind of just solid and standing. Like you would assume, yes, I could see over there, there's a horrible dark cloud. It's just, you're in dull shadow that does not seem to be progressing. What did you get, Saga?
Is it a check or a saving throw?
Check.
14.
Okay, you maintain concentration for the first hour. Any sweat on your brow instantly freezes. But you are still going. It is a ton of work, but you're going.
Yes.
2 hours pass. The storm doesn't seem any closer. It just keeps getting a little darker, but the wind does not pick up. You don't see anything in the distance. You don't smell like the scent of a storm. You don't know what this is. It looks like it should be a storm, but it is not progressing. Saga, go ahead and give me another one.
Same thing, 14.
All right, pushing through. Basically just snow plow right through the snow. As you continue forward, it's gotten to around hour 3, hour 4, where it just hits a level of darkness that is akin to right before nightfall and just stays like that. It is easy enough to keep moving forward because of the illuminated glyphs, but nothing is picked up. It is just darkness. That something is blocking the sun. These clouds are so dense that it is just not getting through. But no storm.
Well, point at not contention, just clarification.
Yes.
This darkness, does Fen see in it?
I would say all of you can still see in it. Fen, you could probably see a bit better than other people.
Okay, but it's not like a magical darkness. It's not impairing my vision in any sort of way. Okay.
No. It seems as natural as the Valley of Odin can be. It does not seem overly magically charged. It is not affecting your vision. I'll cut it there. Would you all like to continue forward, trying to get as far as you can?
Yes.
I think that we should.
Well, it's only like
Yes.
10 in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's earlier morning, later morning.
How
Yeah.
strong are the runes still glowing along the trail?
They're not. It's harder to tell because most of the time you got to see them kind of illuminated in the sun to an extent. So they look very bright, but occasionally you see a flicker.
So
you know-
generally, the brightness seems to be pretty steady, but sometimes they flicker a little off and on.
yes.
Okay, all right. That is that staying about as frequent as we go along, or is it getting more frequent? The flickering.
Over the span of about 4 hours, it's about the same.
Okay, all right. Then yes, I believe that our best bet is to keep going as far as we can, as long as we can. Make as much ground as possible. We spent a lot of time yesterday doing necessary work, but it did put us far behind, and we're racing against time with whatever this storm is going to do if it decides to break. Never seen anything quite like this before, but we'd best not be out in it.
Okay. You all keep
Saga.
pushing forward. Oh, go ahead.
Saga, how are you feeling?
Oh, fine, perfectly fine.
All right.
Um,
Press on.
You aren't overly tired yet?
No, not at all.
All right. You let one of us know.
Right. You all keep pushing forward in this strange darkness where the wind seems to have even slowed down. As you push forward, the hours begin to pass. Saga, give me one more concentration check.
My God, I've rolled 3 13s in a row. It's another 14. I don't know.
You are going strong. The spirit of Lady Satyr pushing you forward.
I'm keeping my brain occupied by with this I can make shapes and colors appear on the dirt. So there's like a rainbow of like different like pulsating colors coming out of the dirt as we move by. And it's
Yeah,
just like mesmerizing.
Keeping yourself entertained as you move forward.
Follow the Rainbow Mud Road. Follow the Rainbow Mud Road. Follow the Rainbow Mud Road. Sorry, go ahead.
Up ahead, which seeing incredibly far is not very easy, but you can see, you just can't see the sky. You can't see far ahead, like towards the horizon. You can't look deeper to the mountain. It is just the spine and what lies a bit ahead. As you continue into the mountain, the spine, it almost looks like the mountain cuts around it. And you on either side have start to like progressively higher stone walls on either side as this spine continues to push through unimpeded, as if the mountain itself grew around it. You don't see any sign of like carving and chipping away at it. It's like a path in a valley between, like in a crevice. It's not incredibly high. It's about 10-ish feet above you. You go in and out of situations like that. Sometimes you work at a higher incline where the sleds have to struggle a bit, but you have not been in a situation yet where it's like, get out the climbing gear, I have to get up some rocks. It seems that the spine itself is a clear path, that this spine has made a way for itself that is navigatable, is travelable, is safe, compared to what you would be having to do without it. The day passes, and keeping up with the time, you know that sundown is getting close. You don't know how much quicker it'll get dark, but you know you're around that time.
Especially up in the mountains.
Currently, you are in a spot where you are on the spine and have walls of rock on either side, is where you are currently towards the end of the day's journey.
A place with some good cover?
Depending, yeah. It's good cover. It kind of makes a bit of a well for wind, even though the wind is not incredibly tough, but it is a bit noisy. It's good in the sense of blocking wind in multiple directions, but it is the only direction.
Okay.
would you like to keep pushing forward, or would you like to set up camp here? Basically on the spine.
Fen, by your count, how much longer do you think we've got till nightfall?
It can't be but a few hours. This darkness is making it hard to see. I can't see the sun. A couple of hours, maybe. If we can push on, that might be best. Whatever's making these runes flicker and fade, I worry about what happens when Ave's magic goes out. Does anyone in the party understand what Ave did to this? Is there any way we can renew? It pains me to ask to call upon your gods and this divine magic that you possess, but there must be some way to keep this going. Ave was a man just like we are, just like each of us are people. Whatever magic he had access to, maybe any of you might have the same if you knew what he did.
Would Nana have recognized Ave's gestures as he was approaching the spine as we came up to it? I don't remember very well off the top of my head what he did, but it was something along the lines of basically just touching the spine, I think.
Yeah,
Did he say any words?
Roll intelligence for me. Just straight up intelligence. Just intelligence.
Just that intelligence.
Just that sweet intelligence.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked. Okay. Straight up intelligence, that is a dirty 20.
There you go.
I knew there was a reason you were leading us.
Well, don't hold your breath just yet, old friend.
As you think back to watching Ave, he pressed ahead of you towards the spine to be first to it.
Mm-hmm.
You watched as he knelt and put a hand onto the spine, and it almost immediately lit up. I hate on a 20, but that is all you saw or remembered.
Okay, all right. Well, it didn't seem like he called upon Gulveg or anyone else, or any magic even. It seemed as though the moment he bent down to touch it, it just responded. It lit up. Nana wants to kind of take a knee and sort of like see if she can brush aside anything that might be obstructing one of these like chunks of the spine where the runes are visible, and see whether or not she can, like, I don't know, clear away some of the debris, maybe see if there's some clue there.
You push it away, you get to a visage of one of the glyphs, which it is strange. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to the glyphs. Some are humongous. Some take up like 10 foot could be just one glyph, and then sometimes there's one as big as like the tip of your pinky. You find a nice hand-sized one, and you place a hand on it and you look over it. There's no reaction. It just seems to glow softly.
Is there any among us that can make sense of what the glyphs say? Do any of us recognize the language?
Is it similar to anything that would have been around Galunder? Any of the traditional scripts or decorations around town?
I will keep your roll. These don't even sort of look familiar to you. You've never seen glyphs like this.
Certainly
And on
nothing
that
like
note,
anything on Gulveg.
none of you have.
Galunder.
Well, I've never seen anything like this. I've been all over, and I've never seen anything like it.
Nana, what do? Do we press on, or do we set up camp here?
It's a good campsite. but I think that we should take advantage of as much time as we can with these runes lit up, especially if we can't figure out a way to get them to light up again.
All right, you heard her. Let's press on.
Right? Yes.
I don't want to walk in the dark. Well, like, dark is in no glyphs. Dark.
Certainly.
Mhm.
I don't think
That's
any of
good.
us want that.
You all push forward. You have about close to 2 hours of light left. As you're pushing forward, how about Roshan? I would like you to give me a luck check. Roll a d20, please.
I got a 9.
Okay. You push on for the close to 2 hours. You are still in that kind of valley. It is still the same sort of setup, but you have made it further along.
Where are we at now with regards to the overhead? Does it look like we're pushing our luck as far as light is concerned?
Now it seems to actually physically be getting darker, yes.
Okay.
So the valley that we're traveling through, it's not a tunnel. It's mountain up either side. Is there
Yes.
snow up there? We're not going to get buried in an avalanche or something, is there? Are we?
Where you are currently, it is not very high above you. It's about 30 feet up in places.
Okay. Does it get steeper or taller the further we go in?
Further ahead, when you had a bit more light, you can tell that there are spots further ahead where it looks like the walls go a bit up higher. But those could be pushed through. You don't know how the spine is going to work.
Okay.
All right. I think that we're probably not going to find much better cover than this before we lose what little light we have left. Start looking for pockets in the sides of the mountain. Anything that might look like a crevice that we might be able to make our way into, might be large enough for us all to fit in. And Saga, if you think you have one more use of that mold earth in you, if we can find something like a cave that has only a small entrance, if you can use your magic to move the entryway large enough for us to pass through, you can let it go. We'll have natural defense when it closes up behind us, and you can move it again in the morning.
That's a wonderful idea.
If we can
Roshan,
find anything like that. We'll be very lucky if we can, but I think that'll be our best bet at cover.
I'll keep an eye
Roshan.
out.
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying I'd keep an eye out.
Okay.
Roshan and Gorbjorn as well. Roshan, if we do run across anything that requires us fighting, maybe the yelling that you do is not the best idea in this particular situation. And Gorbjorn, you yell a lot as well. Let's avoid that while we pass through this chasm.
I'll certainly try.
I just don't want to be buried under snow that an avalanche might trigger.
All I can imagine is Gorbjorn's just like, God, I really want to yell right now. That's just like, God, if I didn't
Yeah.
think maybe the avalanche would happen, I'd love to yell.
Saga has a
Tordrick's
sudden
the-
urge to yell as well.
Tordrick's thinking, I guess I can yell. I don't count.
Permission.
Dang it.
I will say, I hate to lay it down to this, but this is based on the luck check, how well you could find a spot for camp. There are no kind of fissures or outcroppings you can make your way into. It is just straight wall.
Well, it's a good idea for later, I suppose, if we can find something as lucky as that. In the meantime, however, we can always make use of the larger sled as one wall. You know, Gorbjorn, you've made shelters out of snow in the mountains, haven't you? How else have you survived all these years sleeping out in the wild?
I have cabin.
What about the times where you're caught outside of your cabin, say in the middle of a snowstorm?
Oh, I sleep with pack. They huddle and we warm.
Oh,
Well, that will help us, I believe.
what if we just blow up the mountain?
Yeah.
I'll help. I'll help.
I would
I'll help.
recommend against that. Let's not.
We can make a party out of it.
Yes.
Well, mountain
Let's
party.
wait until we're off the mountain first. Off
No,
the mountain.
so we can sleep in the mountain. Why would you want to be off? We're going to be here. We blow it up. We can
Mhm.
sleep inside the hole.
We dwarves blow holes up in mountains all the time.
There's
That's how we
cliffs
mine.
on either side of us. Can you do that safely?
Todrick,
Mm,
you're the expert.
ooh, that wasn't my job, though.
She pulls out like a couple small hammers. I think it'll be fine.
I was
They're
taught
just
how to,
mason.
how to hammer metals, then make drink. Maybe we have something. He starts thinking, I can make fire with my hands. That
If,
can help, maybe.
yeah, if I just put like a box of earth around us, we won't be crushed by any like snow that falls.
Yeah, we'll just be crushed by the earth that you made around.
The earth would be a great protection, but what happens when you remove the earth from around us and the snow falls on us?
Guess we
Foiled by
die.
potential energy.
All right. Let's set up camp. Start striking the tent. Gorbjorn, I'll need your help. We're going to make some walls out of some of the snow. We're going to pile it up as high as we can, about waist height, if we can manage it. We'll use the sled as perhaps the... We've got to keep Ave's body out of the way of the thoroughfare of the path. We can keep that near the mountain, but also we should keep it next to the fire once we get that going.
I think if every hour we could move the sled, I think that would be helpful as well.
Yes, keep it from
Good
staying in one
idea.
place for too long. Yes.
Okay, I think it's easy enough to start setting up camp here. Protection-wise and setting up sides, not incredibly hard, especially because you're protected already on 2. You set up your tent, you prepare your fire, you make, I would say they get a bit lower than waist height, but you're able to kind of push up a bit of snow to get up a bit of a wall. Like if you had to like dive behind one, you would have full cover. But you all prepare for the night. Saga, you have a level of exhaustion. The second you stop molding earth and you start kind of helping to get the fire going and to help with the tent, your arms just sort of kind of drop at your side. It is as if like every drop of magic in you is like, okay, we're done now. The adrenaline wore off and you are tired.
Oh.
One level of exhaustion.
Oh boy. Ouch.
Saga, you did incredibly well today. I have to say I'm impressed and proud for you. Please take as much time to rest as you need. You don't have to take a watch tonight. we would not be this far had it not been for your efforts.
I'm perfectly fine. It's yeah, good.
I would
Just-
like to insight check that.
Oh, easy enough. You watched her try to lift her arm and it just kind of fell down.
It just, Saga, your arms are noodles.
They're usually.
Please.
I'm not. It's. You don't need to insult my strength. I am.
I wasn't
So-
referring to your normal circumstances. I meant just a moment ago. I saw you try to lift a twig and you struggled.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Please,
I just.
Saga, step aside. I
think
have
I
to
need
show
to-
Roshan how to set a camp the way I showed you the other night. It's just Roshan's turn. He needs to learn this as much as you did. It's no problem. Just get yourself a rest, have some dinner, sit by the fire for a bit, and kick your feet up. Relax.
Just gonna. Fine. I'm just gonna sit for a bit. Instantly falls asleep.
Yeah.
Just now.
After
Hold
you-
on.
Yeah.
When you sit down, Tordrick grabs his favorite cask
Oh.
and he walks over to you and he goes, "I believe you. Here, this'll make you tired. Just have one little sip."
I've never really drank, but I'll try.
Oh, well, then you'll definitely sleep. You'll get a good rest. I guarantee it.
All right.
And then we can help blow up this mountain together. I'm
All
thinking.
right.
Right,
He's
Saga,
determined.
you take a sip. It's awful. There's a little bit.
Yeah.
Of, it's as but then there's a warmth that you can feel in your body, and for a moment you're comfortable and tired.
This is pretty great.
Mhm.
Actually.
He goes, he grabs the cask, gets
Um,
back to work.
As Saga slowly begins to fall asleep, a sip of ale in the belly. When we left off, the party had just made camp and was setting up for the night. Saga, tired from using all of her magic, is already out. Easy enough for you guys to finish getting ready. Somebody is able to just kind of move Saga into a tent. It's not very hard. I will say, is there anything anybody wanted to do or talk about tonight?
Just pray. Tordrick will pray to the 9 sisters.
Nana will attempt to pray as well to Gulvig. Just try and show that faith that Tordrick and Saga were talking about.
Okay. Tordrick, you can give me a religion roll, and Nana, you can also give me a religion roll.
Roshan will, when he's moving Saga into the tent, prestidigitate her wet feet dry for her.
Hey.
So she wakes up with dry feet.
There you go.
Aw.
You could have been warming our beverages this whole time.
You monster!
11.
Not how it
on
works.
religion.
It only works on feet. That's how.
Them's the rules.
Yeah, you helped Saga, so she's not going to have a problem the next day. I can't imagine what a difficulty that could end up being. What were your roles, starting with Tordrick?
11.
Okay. You pray and you get that warmth and kind of self-affirmation that you get from prayer. There's no sparks or moving or wiggling, but there is that feeling inside you that you feel a bit better.
Okay.
Nana,
14.
taking what your friends said into consideration, with their admiration for their gods, you take a moment and pray to Gulvig. What do you say?
I know I am not your chosen. I cannot replace him. But I will do everything in my power to at least succeed him until a proper successor can be found. Please, if there's anything that you can tell me so that I can bring these people home alive. Anything at all.
You wait a moment. You don't feel anything.
I understand.
All right. Is there anything anybody else needed to do before sundown? You don't have too much time, but there's some available.
Ben's gonna just kind of ask Roshan and Gorbjorn about their magical powers that he was unaware of. Like he wants to know why Roshan can float and cry black tears now. And he also knows that Gorbjorn like lives and talks with wolves, but like for him to just chat with a bird and like that's new, and a little curious about that.
Well, since this is a sharing session, I'll go first. Ro kind of just explains, without going into too much detail, that when I was born, sometime around my birth, there was a ritual to steal some energy, some of the magic left in the ground on the coast of Night, and I suppose that's how it manifests. I'm not entirely sure.
And this doesn't leave your thoughts clouded. It doesn't affect who you are in the moment. I mean, you're clearly on our side while this was happening. I'm just trusting you here with the lives of my other friends, that this magic, this dark magic that I saw you exude, isn't a threat to us.
I was lucid enough to know that you were all my companions and that they were the enemy. So I think we're okay.
Roshan, I trust you. I've known you for a while. I've only spent time with you recently, but I do trust you. Nana trusts you, so I trust you as well. But I still trouble over this sort of power flowing through a mortal. I mean, you see, we are surrounded by this corruption of long dead gods, and it's only malevolence. And the healing and the warmth and the good that magic is supposed to bring to the world is not evident here.
Well, if I do anything untoward, you all will be here to keep me in line.
I trust you. Gorbjorn, that was adorable. Can we make more bird friends, please?
Birds, not always friendly.
That one's unfriendly.
They like to fly away once you make names.
Well, interesting ability that I did not know that you possessed.
Ave, he tried to teach magic, but I'm bad student.
Well, you seem to have mastered enough of it to aid us when we needed it. And again, the bird was cute. Bring more cute birds.
Birdie McBirdface, brave warrior, not cute.
That's all I've got.
All right. Everybody good for the night? I am going to move us forward a bit. We all know that there are enough people to move us forward, to have enough shifts to get through the night. Spending the night in this sort of sandwiched between these walls of the mountain, it's a bit unnerving. It's kind of like having large shadows looming overhead, where the fire flickers over them throughout the night. But nothing happens, and there's no storm. The next day, you continue forward, and you can see the flickering of the spine becomes more prominent, that it looks dimmer. You push forward, trying to make your way along. By nightfall, you are out of the rift, out of the sandwich between these parts of the mountain, as the spine seems to have like veered, like there's a slight tilt in it that takes you kind of up and away, deeper into the mountain, farther from the edge. As you follow along this, you're still in that darkness. The sky has not brightened since the level it got to the previous morning. As you move along, waiting for this storm, again, nothing happens. You make camp again. That night, you set up. It's quiet. As the dawn approaches of the next day, the wind begins to pick up. And the clouds move and open, bringing light back into the valley onto the mountain. And for a moment, you're greeted with like a bright white light that is just the sun on snow. And you look out and you can't see ahead. The wind is starting to pick up and swirl around you. You are, that morning after picking up camp, getting ready to go, you are in a whiteout. The only thing you can see is basically your feet. As the wind picks up and starts to rush around, all you can see is the spine and each other.
Anyone who cannot make it on foot confidently, get on one of the sleds. We will run a rope from sled to sled, and we'll run a rope from one of those to whomever's leading the front. Whomever's going to scout ahead, I believe Fen or myself would be best suited for that.
I'll scout ahead.
Take a rope with you, as I say.
In-
We're not losing anyone in this.
Instead of moving the snow out of the way, should I try to make a wind block? Instead,
How do you mean?
put the thin wall of stone ahead of us as we move.
Let's try. We'll see what it does for us. If it looks like it will give us an advantage moving forward, then by all means, if you think you can maintain it, Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All of you attach ropes, get the sleds together, attach them to the people who will not be on sleds, so people at least can have a way of finding each other. If somebody gets about 10 feet, 20 feet away from you, it's almost like they're gone, as they step into just this white swirling around you. You all start to make your way forward. Saga, you lift this stone, and you can see like parts of it trying to be pulled away and flicked off by the intense winds.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to roll concentration Yeah, go ahead and roll me concentration. DC is going to be a little bit higher. We're going to go with 13.
She's going to make it a sort of a V shape towards the wind so that it doesn't just hit straight on so badly. Uh-oh. It's just a check, right? Not a save?
Just to check.
It's a 12.
Oh.
Okay.
You
Can
were
any
able
of us help her?
No, I would say no.
Okay. all right.
This is a bit more of Saga on her own, unless you have that spell, Mold Earth. Saga, you were able to kind of keep going and push through for longer than the 10 minutes. You're able to keep going, but the second it hits close to about 30, bit over that, just the push of it, it's almost starting to just move back into you. You cannot keep the wall ahead of you. You cannot push against the wind.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this for much longer.
It was a good idea, Saga, but don't exhaust yourself. We've a long way to go yet. All right? It was a good idea. Thank you for trying.
I'll try to find another way to help if I can. This won't be it.
Of course.
Okay.
Keep a low profile. Try to resist the wind as little as possible. Those who are on the sleds, maybe tether yourselves to the sleds as well. The wind seems to be picking up even more.
Okay. Easy enough for people to kind of try and attach themselves to get sturdier, taking a moment. Everyone now has to yell to be heard as you make your way forward as the wind dampens your speech.
Gorbjorn, everything is steady on the sled, yes? Nothing's come loose?
I think back of Fen telling me not to yell, so I'm really confused at first, so I just kind of like pull on the rope.
You just get a little tug.
1 tug for firm, 2 tugs for not.
1.
All right then.
Ro will turn around to whoever is sharing the sled with him and say, "How come she gets to yell? I can't yell."
I was told not to yell. There's some rules in this mountain.
I'm not trying to make anyone feel singled out.
I love
Let's
all
keep
of you.
going.
Privileges of being alpha.
Nana's not comfortable with this.
Ever since she became a lady, she's just been acting so much different.
The second
Yeah.
you get a title, you change. It's what happens.
I didn't ask for this.
The power's gone straight to her head.
We must overthrow her rule.
You all push forward as you push forward. Once again, the cart, Gorbjorn, is fine. As you all just are, it has slowed you to about half speed at this point as you're pushing forward along the spine. Fen, you are out front. Go ahead and give me perception with disadvantage.
Is an 11?
Okay. Seeing is near impossible, and the sound of the wind is close to deafening. So as you try to scout ahead, doing your best to keep eyes ahead of you, ears open, it's difficult. And you barely can see 10 feet ahead of you. As you make your way forward,
Am I also in the front or not anymore?
would you have stayed in the front?
Did the wall exhaust me completely, or am I still able to move, fix the terrain to be not so difficult?
Fen would not have let her stay in front of him if she wasn't keeping that wall up anymore.
Yeah, you could have stayed near the front with Fen, but the wall is down. You are not exhausted. You can go ahead and also roll perception with disadvantage.
Sure. Well, 14.
14? Okay. As you're moving forward, you see what looks like kind of just like a large sort of arch shape of snow. And as you're squinting, trying to see it, it's about 20 feet away. You see it expand and shrink.
Ooh,
Expand
just
and shrink.
standing, walking behind Fen, just kind of run up to him and slap him on the side of the arm. There's a. Do you see that? Do you see
Don't
that?
fucking touch me.
This. I'm sorry. There's something up there. Did you not? It's breathing, or moving.
It's breathing. Hold.
Just look. Just look.
Okay, you watch as this figure, the snow brushes off, and it begins to stand, towering way over you. As you look past Fen at it, it turns towards you, blue skin, huge lumbering body, and it makes eye contact with you.
It's looking at me. Do you?
How far is it? Do I see it?
When you turn back and see her just pointing, and you turn back forward, oh, you see it. Now standing tall in front of you, a huge frost giant.
How far is it?
It is about 20 feet away from you.
Can we keep going yet?
Not yet, not until we get the confirmation to move
There's-
forward.
I call out in giant. Ahoy!
Oh. Hello.
I know, Giant.
I do too.
A few of you hear Fen yell out in giant, ahoy.
Yarr. Just be Pirate Mountain.
We be giants.
I hope it's just an orc.
Gordrick whispers, "Somebody cover my mouth. I'm about to scream." He looks like he's about ready to go. Ah! Dwarves and giants don't get along very good, so that's an enemy. He's so,
In
Nana-
the back, I can't see shit.
Gorgon's like, huh? Nana, you cover Tordrick's mouth. You watch as this large frost giant has now stood at like full extension and is kind of looking down at you. It seemed confused at first, and even more so now. It leans in and squints at you. Ahoy, tiny man. It takes a step forward.
We seek the oasis. And all of this in giant. We seek the oasis. We've come far through much personal loss. Do you know where the oasis is?
Oasis. Step forward. Tiny man on mountain, look for oasis. Step forward.
Tiny man with friends strong enough to make it this far up the mountain. We seek the oasis. We do not seek a battle with you.
You watch as he kind of lifts his head from you and observes the group. Fen, I would like you to roll an intimidation check with disadvantage.
How many of us can see this thing?
I would say at this point, now that it has stepped forward a good bit, you can at least see its outline. Everybody can at least see the visage of this thing.
A natural one.
No.
strong friends with tiny man. Step forward. I can help. Friends on mountain, great loss. You watch as he puts a hand back, grabbing the hilt of a weapon, and he pulls out a great axe that he holds in hand. Not many walk on mountain. I take half go. Want tiny scared one.
Can I?
Watch as
can I
he
cast a
licks his
spell?
lips and there's just like a puff of steam.
Can Roshan cast a spell?
Sure. Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
No.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
So Roshan is going to look up and whisper words that somehow make it through the storm and into the giant's ears, and he says, "Run!" And I need the giant to make a wisdom save.
Oh,
Okay.
let's hope he's not very wise.
Well,
What is the save?
wisdom 14.
What is your DC?
14.
Okay. You watch as the giant sort of like turns its head looking for whispers, and you see a tightening on the great axe. Tricksy tiny things. Give half.
Um,
Crush. It takes another step forward. Weapon kind of raised and lobbied in the arm.
So if it succeeded on its saving throw, it still takes 6 damage.
Oh, oh, that's a
Oh boy!
Oh, great. We're in initiative now. Awesome.
Let's do it.
What was that dissonant with desert whispers?
You got it.
Dissonant whispers.
Dissonant or
It's wrong,
whispers.
lad.
Okay. Let me change that a bit. My apologies. Looks for these whispers, and then it looks like he's kind of kicked in the head and jostled. No.
Oh boy!
He raises the great axe and like roars out, audible through the wind, unimpeded, and lunges forward. We are going to roll for initiative.
Audrey screams. He's just gonna scream.
I mean, that's valid. At this point, Nana's
Yeah.
like just this shy of screaming as well.
Yes, when that creature screams, "Ah!" As high pitched screams.
Everyone's screaming. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Everybody rolled initiative. Fen,
19.
19. Nana,
7.
7.
Yes.
Gorbjorn,
13.
13. Saga,
8.
Tordrek,
9.
9. We have a 7, 8, 9. Roshan,
Master 20.
20. And now for our big boy here.
An unnatural 20.
Good job. Okay. One moment. We are at the top of the order. That is going to be Roshan. About 20 feet away is Saga and Fen, followed behind by Roshan, Gorbjorn, and Nana. Tordrek next to Nana, sled behind Gorbjorn. Roshan, what would you like to do?
Roshan would like to yell up to him and say, "It looks like you've been out here in the cold for far too long." And that's a really bad attempt at a vicious mockery.
Is it wisdom?
Yes.
I mean, if it hits, it hits.
18.
He doesn't hear it over the sound of the wind, which also saves my pride.
Hooray!
Any movement? You're about 25 feet away from this thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my sled in reverse and go at least 10 feet back.
Okay, you have to go at a bit of an angle. 5, 10, okay. All right. Fen, you're up.
Draw my longbow. Loose an arrow at him.
With your hunter's mark, right?
That
Ooh,
that
yeah, you
misses.
should
Well,
bonus action that.
well, I bonus action was probably drawing my bow. I didn't have it out, so
That's
Mm.
interact with objects. Yeah.
That's fine. You can take it out as a free action for right now.
okay. Yeah, I will hunter's mark him. Then the first shot's still gonna miss with a 7. 7 doesn't hit, right? Okay.
7 you watch as your arrow goes forward and the wind blows it off course.
All right.
Dang.
But I do have a dread ambusher attack because it's first round of
Aha.
combat. So I'm gonna take another shot.
All right.
And that is a much more respectable 24 to hit.
Woo!
Yes, 24
Wow.
hit.
All right. And hunter's mark. Don't forget the damage. 12 points of damage.
12.
Yep.
All right. The first
And I will.
goes wide.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say with my movement, I'm gonna kind of position myself between Saga and this thing and start like gesturing back. Like I'm not gonna full out run back yet, but just want to, let her know that like, hey, we got to move the other way from this and start moving back.
Okay. You take a step ahead of Saga and motion to back up. All right. Next we have Gorbjorn.
Yes. So seeing how it's yelling, I feel
Oh
like
my
the yelling
gosh.
I just howl as I rage and run up at this thing with Fang. Reckless Great Weapon Master attack. That's a natural 20.
Oh!
Yes! That's my
Fine.
orc boy!
Finally. Alright, so let's
Go green or go home.
Yeah! Put that in the hashtag.
31 damage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Damn. Nice.
All right.
It was my new boy too.
Hey! Excellent.
Howling into the wind, you run forward along the spine and just start wailing on this guy. Making contact, you watch as just like this dark blood starts to come out of the leg. Is that all? You've used all your movement to get there.
Oh, I didn't even realize if I was or wasn't in range. But thank God I was.
Yeah, it was exactly
Hey.
30. You were exactly 30. I'm just swinging.
I'm just gonna swing. Hope I'm there. Oh, that's my turn, sorry.
Cool. Tordrek, as you scream into the sky.
He screams and he sees Gorbjorn rushing forward, and he goes,
Okay, 5, 10.
"Protect that sucker!" And he casts Shield of Fate on him.
Oh yeah.
All right, and that is concentration, correct?
It
Yeah.
is.
All right. You are concentrating, and he has
+2 to armor.
perfect. All right. And I'm just double checking. I just want to be sure. Did you use your full movement to go forward? Or were you moving the ball?
I was. I'm not. I'm. How far forward did he go?
Gorbjorn went exactly 30 feet and made contact.
Okay, because I can cast it up to 60 feet.
Okay, so would you like
And
to?
I know for a fact that Torchic, if he don't have to, ain't taking one step. If not, he's going backwards probably.
Okay, so you are welcome to stay right there. I was just double checking.
Yep. He's
All
going.
right. Good luck, Gorbjorn.
Exactly.
Saga, you are up.
Yes. By the way, I got an 18 on my initiative. The sound might have cut out. But yeah, I'm at 18,
Oh.
not 8.
Oh no. Okay, well, next round you will go in the correct place.
Yeah. All right. Well, Saga wants to try diplomacy, but things have happened. She's going to cast Phantasmal Force, and a 10-foot large female frost giant is going to walk up from in the like the you can't see from too far away, so it'll come up and say in giant, tiny people friends, don't hit, they stupid, leave alone, let's go together, thick boy.
Oh, let's hope this
This
dummy thick giant is a thick
This-
dummy.
very feminized, like frost giant woman asks this thick boy to come back and leave the people alone. What do I roll?
Intelligence. Please.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I might take a if you guys want to fight, but
18.
what? This is the smartest. Dang.
I will say he has a -1, but but he rolled very
When
high.
you roll good, you roll good, right?
Just so
Giant
happens to be on
nerd.
a
He like
mission.
looks back and squints.
Not his type.
Yeah, he doesn't like ladies.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like,
Might
no.
be gay.
I kill you then, and then yeah. It'll hit her. Instead, if that doesn't work, it'll just try to hit with its own little great axe that it has.
Okay, and does that do any damage if I succeed?
No, it doesn't. Sorry, I forgot. Never mind. That's it. That's that whole spell.
Yeah, he like looks back and he's like, Trixie, like hit in the head. He seems very smart, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do any movement?
I guess seeing that not work, Saga's going to be like, all right then, sorry, and then back away 30 feet. Well, not 30 whole feet, probably 25. So at least 25 feet away from the monster.
Okay, you back up 25 feet.
That's my turn.
All right. I got all confused because the initiative order shifted around. Okay. Nana, you are up.
Right. All of this madness happening around Nana. She's kind of looking around, trying to figure out who's where, what's going through everybody's heads as best as she can. This is a lot harder than it looks. Ave, you son of a bitch. So Nana's going to use a bonus action to Hunter's Mark the giant ahead.
Okay.
That's a range of 90 feet, which
Uh,
I believe
Definitely in range.
Good. Okay. And how far away is it at this point?
It is 30 feet away from you.
Oh, excellent. Nana is going to run up in there and try to spear him.
Okay. You run up alongside Gorbjorn. Go ahead and take your attacks.
With advantage.
Oh, with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with advantage. Well, thank you, my friend. All right. I rolled 2 14s, so that's 2 15s total with my bonuses to hit.
15 just hits.
Oh, yes. Excellent. In that case, that's going to be D6 of damage plus Hunter's Mark damage. Total of 6 points of piercing damage for him.
Okay.
And that is the sum of my actions. Gorbjorn, we keep him here. He does not take another step towards the others. Do you hear me?
No!
I'll take that as a yes.
All right, it's time for our thick boy to go.
Big boy.
All right. Lifts the axe and brings it down. He's going to take his first attack at Gorbjorn.
With advantage.
All right. Uh, 19 to hit.
Yep.
All right. You take 9 points of damage, and that's already halved
Thank you.
as this great axe hits into you. Very hard hit, but your rage kind of buffering most of it. The second swing is going to be at Nana. When he hits,
Yes, it does.
Nana, you take 29 points of damage as this axe slams into you.
Ah,
Are you still up?
it barely.
I'm still here.
Barely. It's fine.
Okay. It is going to stay right there, and that is the end of its turn. We are back at the top of the initiative with Roshan.
Roshan pipes up, speaking louder so it can hear him this time. I'd say you're as ugly as a giant, but that's disrespectful to giants.
That's disrespectful to your mother.
Wisdom?
Yes.
6.
Well, he's gonna be real sad when he takes 1 psychic damage.
And he did.
There's a
And-
small tear in the eye and it freezes there.
And he has disadvantage on his next hit, which I will remind you of.
Thank you.
And seeing just probably a nice crimson spray in the air, Ro will finish up that sentence with something like, "And you stay away from my friend Nana." And Nana, you get some healing. You get 3 plus 7.
Thank you very much.
It's something.
It's better than 3 hit points total.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I was down to 3.
Woo! You are hit, and then you feel like this spray of blood hit your face, and then like a warmth kind of just try to push it back in.
Don't go anywhere, blood. I need you.
I need you to live. All right. Any movement, Roshan?
No.
Okay. Fen, you're up.
All right, so having seen that Saga backed up, took the cue and backed up, Fen's gonna fan out to whatever side that Nana is on,
Okay.
still maintaining distance, like 35 foot of distance or so from this thing, with his movement. But yeah, whatever side Nana's on, because if he's got to rush in there and get her some healing at some point, he wants to be well positioned for that. So,
Okay.
so he's gonna use his movement to do that, and
I have a question. I'm sorry, just because I just want to get it right for you. What distance would you like between you and Nana? I think that's going to be the easiest for me moving you.
about a 35-foot distance from me to the giant on Nana's side.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can get to Nana in one turn if I need to, but
Okay.
I'm 35 foot from the giant. So if maybe he's got a movement of 35 feet, I don't fucking know, but like that seems like a safe distance for me.
Okay.
So
from how you're looking, you go to the right and you start to flank from a bit away, close
Right.
enough to run in.
So with him still based with Gorbjorn and Nana, this attack comes with advantage. I'm gonna use sharpshooter on it.
Okay.
It is a 21 to hit
21 hits.
with Hunter's Mark. $18 points of damage.
Okay.
And I bonus action shout out, "We don't want to fight you. We're just trying to pass. Let us through." In giant.
Okay. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Ooh. Straight 11. I don't have any modifiers to that.
Okay. You yell out, trying to hope the situation can be talked down. You see just like a tightened grip on the great axe. It does not seem to loosen.
What an asshole.
This guy's a jerk. Saga, you are up.
All right. I'm going to try this again.
Okay.
This time it's a guy, but not not a love interest. It's going to be this large, like try to make it look buffer than him, male frost giant that's corrupted and is like just smashing into the battle, just going straight towards him, screaming. Yeah. Just another intelligence.
Intelligence save. All right. 9.
Yes. Okay, that works. Yes. DC was 14, so that fails.
Okay.
And yeah, just coming to it look like the bigger problem than us. Hopefully.
Interesting. Okay. Any damage?
It'll just run up to him and just start like ripping at his face with its claws. And it does a D6. 4
All right.
points of psychic damage.
You watch it turn its head towards this thing. I believe only you and it can see. And it starts to scream. And you just watch as his head turns and he begins to scream. Saga, I also have a question for you.
Yeah.
What spell level was that?
That was a second level spell, and I forgot to roll wild magic last
So
time.
it's going
for
to
it.
be a 3 or lower on this roll.
Okay. So I need to roll twice because I missed the
Just
first
once,
one.
but the number's
okay.
high.
Okay. I'm good at this. 17. It's fine.
You have yet to magic surge, but one day, one day,
I will.
Be a potted plant.
it'll be a terrible
catastrophe.
time, and we'll see.
No, but right.
All
No,
turned
just
into potted plants.
yeah. Just for now, she's in the background trying to like mime what the phantasmal force is doing. Just like yeah. Trying to make sure.
Okay, and there's something also that I forgot. Nana, I need you to roll for concentration.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Okay. Concentration. That's Constitution. 13.
What's half of 29?
That'd be 14.
Oh, bummer. You lose Hunter's Mark.
It.
All right.
It's fine.
This is fine. Uh,
This is
It's fine.
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 Gorbjorn.
Can I use my movement to like shoulder Nana back 5 feet? And like get in front of her?
Nana, would you allow this?
I mean, I did just take rather a lot of damage, so maybe she can throw a spear or two.
I say, personally, just kind of shoving your body between somebody and a thing, easy enough to do if they're willing. She is now just behind you.
Alright. And then the same reckless weapon master attack. Oh, what? Oh wait, no, never mind. I see it now. But no, that was a 9.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Doesn't hit through the skin. He has odd patches of armor, and you just happen to hit one that time. All right. Tordrick.
Tordrick continues to his concentration on the Shield of Faith, steps forward 5 feet, and uses a second spell slot to do Healing Word on Nana.
Okay.
Tin back.
Woo!
Oh,
Thank
another
you.
burst of healing energy into your body.
Got a sacred flame there?
What was that?
You can send out a sacred flame as well. You still have your action.
Oh, let me see if he might be too afraid to do that. Okay.
And agency. He has agency too.
That is true.
He spoke about blowing up a mountain, though. This might be the perfect time to try this. So he puts his hand out, and a flame starts to come from his hand, but there's still swirls of blue because of where he gets his miracles from, and then he just tosses it as best he can right at the creature.
Okay. Do you roll or do I roll?
Let's see here.
I believe it's a dexterity save.
It's a yes, that's correct.
Perfect.
Dexterity 13.
Ooh, gosh, if you guys had watched that roll, it hovered on the 3 and then went to the 17.
We didn't watch
Like
it, so I.
3 bump.
So you waited till the last second to move, right?
It was like, yeah. All right. Finding the courage to at least do the sacred flame. You see him just kind of batting at it, but mostly worried about this horrible monstrosity it sees. All right. Nana.
All right. Nana is going to re-up Hunter's Mark. Because
Okay.
by golly, what else is a ranger going to do in a combat situation? And
Pepper strike.
for those who have it, and she's going to throw one of her spears at the giant instead of run up on it.
Okay.
You get advantage.
Fantastic. My better roll is a 15 to hit.
15 exactly hits.
Yeah. Okay. Now I believe if I'm taking this correctly, I take a D8 of damage instead of a D6 when I throw the spear.
I feel like it's probably the lesser one. I'm assuming the bigger one is when you are like, I have a spear in hand and you can jab harder.
The D8 is when you're dual handing one spear.
Oh, well,
You
I
know-
hecked up the damage on the last couple ones. I will learn for the future.
Next time.
And 9 piercing damage from the thrown spear.
With Hunter's Mark.
Yes, with Hunter's Mark included.
Okay. This spear just kind of like sticks into the creature's shoulder. There is like a jolt of pain, but definitely fear is winning in this moment. Anything else?
It's all I've got, pretty much. Well,
movement?
yeah. Let me see. Gorbjorn is kind of still like.
Yes, he is in
closest to.
front of you.
All right. I guess I will.
I'm going to tell you, though, it looks like it has a pretty long arm.
Okay. Gorbjorn's effect, is that only within 5 feet range, or is that within a larger range?
So it's 5 feet from me.
Okay. So if I stay within, like, next to him, I get the advantage, but if I step another
No, no,
five-
no.
No, you can
the
be as
enemy-
far back
the
as you
enemy
want.
is within 5 feet of him.
Oh, it's if the enemy is. I'm
Yeah,
there.
'cause-
I'm there. I'm there. I'm there.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case, then, yeah, I'm going to back up maybe like 15 feet just to give me a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay, I'm taking an attack of opportunity against you.
That's fair.
Oh, I would like
yeah.
to. Oh, that is at disadvantage. Yes.
Oh, disadvantage. You are correct. Slightly lower.
Good. We like that.
Does a 15 hit?
It does.
Okay.
I'm a ranger. I'm not a soldier.
I'm just a ranger.
I am lightly armored.
Oof.
Oh, God. I don't like it when you oof.
Oh.
27 points of damage.
I'm down. Yikes.
Nana, you move to go back. The axe hits across you. There's a spray of blood across the snow, and you fall backwards.
Shit.
All right. And now it's his turn. He is. I'm going to make an intelligence check to see if I can get out of this nightmare he's living in. No cigar. With a 4, I don't think so. You see panicking, fear as he's trying to push this creature away from himself. He reaches for his side with his free hand, pulls out a horn, and blows it.
Oh, no.
A loud, rumbling alarm echoes, all of you can hear it, echoes through the wind, across the snow.
Oh, we're fucked.
So we can yell, right?
That is his turn. Being afraid and playing the bard. Roshan.
So Roshan. Roshan will yell at the giant. You know that stream running down your leg will freeze, and he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Honestly, I'm going to give him disadvantage with how afraid he is.
Good.
13.
Mine is a 14.
There you go. It hits.
He takes another 1 damage.
Oh, come on.
Emotionally hurt.
And centered on him, I would like to cast silence to silence his horn.
Okay. What is the radius of silence?
It is a 20-foot radius.
Are you 20 feet? Close enough. Okay. You drop that on him. Gorbjorn, it gets incredibly quiet. It is just, you are instantly deaf.
Like the wind just
Stops. The wind stops. And you're like, oh, okay. You can't even hear the thrum of blood in your ears. It's just silent. Okay. Is that concentration, good sir?
It is.
All right. I'll give that to you. Any movement?
Nope.
Okay. Ben.
Fen rushes up to Nana, How far am I from her?
You were 35 feet away.
So now you're 30 feet away because I pushed her back 5.
All right.
Well, yeah, you can make it there.
Fen drops Hunter's Mark, casts Zephyr Strike with his bonus action, runs up to Nana, grabs her, pulls her back as far as you'll allow for movement.
What's your full
Not
movement?
lifting it, not lifting. It adds. Zephyr Strike adds 30 feet of movement.
Okay, I'm going to half that because you're dragging a person.
Yeah, so I'm not picking her up. I'm just dragging her. So
Does-
I'm running. I have 35 feet base movement to reach her
Yes.
and dragging her as far as I can from this thing.
So 15.
So yeah.
Okay. Does Zephyr Strike get rid of opportunity attacks?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no opportunity attacks with it.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure before I
Right.
just start swinging.
So yeah. And then with my action, I will cast. Well, let me cast Zephyr Strike here in D&D Beyond, and Cure Wounds with my action. That will be. $10 points of healing.
Ooh, wow.
And 10 points for everybody who's done healing today or something like it. All 10.
Impressive.
And I'm gonna shout out to this giant. Can he hear me if I'm outside of the silence, or
Roll.
Yeah.
if I'm shouting from outside the silence, can he hear me? Or
I mean, I would think no. Am
I
I
think
just
it's like a bubble.
Mhm.
Of
I think it just
silence?
silences things that are
It's-
noises that are made in the bubble.
Exactly. Because if
creatures-
you want to cast a spell that requires them hearing, they still can.
No, creatures inside the sphere are deafened.
Yeah.
Oh, then
It's
oh,
silence in
okay.
a radius, right? Silence radius.
I'm-
In a radius.
I'm still gonna.
Um,
I'm still gonna shout. I don't understand. I don't recognize the silence has been shouted. I cast. I'm still gonna shout. We don't want to fight you. We want to talk to your chieftain. Let us
All right.
pass.
You yell in giant in his direction. You see no acknowledgement of you.
All right.
All right. Saga.
Okay. The corrupted giant will continue to fight, but it'll start to run. Okay, when he blew his horn, did he look somewhere, like look for like where they would be coming from, the reinforcements? Did he make any motion to?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He pulled out the horn and he tilted his head towards deeper into the mountain on the spine.
Okay, I will have the illusion begin to move that way that he indicated. Begin to like run towards where there would be the reinforcements.
Okay. Are you going to back up anymore?
I will stick with wherever the group is. I want to be close to everybody else. As it runs away, it'll make one more attack at him. One more like slice, and does 5 points this time of psychic.
Okay.
And standing by the group, I'm just going to cast Mage Armor on myself with my action.
Concentration?
It's not.
Oh, well then.
Phantasmal Force is concentration, which I'm holding
Yes.
now.
I'll put that back there anyways then. Okay.
That's my turn.
Gorbjorn.
I attack the same way.
You're
Oh,
like,
no.
I may be deaf,
That's a 7, so still don't hit.
but okay. Anything else?
I scream, but nothing comes out.
Silent scream into the day. Tordrick.
Tordrick sees Nana fall in the blood from a distance, and he rushes towards her as Finn is dragging her back, and he lands on his knees and cures wounds on her.
Okay.
And he's going to use the spell slot again, and that does 16 hit points back.
All right.
Both.
It is
But he
now.
won't look up at the creature. He won't look up at the creature. Nope. Mm-mm. He's like,
Mm,
not happening.
I will say you do have movement still if you'd like to back up.
Well, he'll quietly. I guess he's in the quiet zone now, so he kind of crawls back, not wanting to stand up and possibly get the giant's attention. He crawls backwards.
All right, you back up. Nana.
Nana's going to wince and get herself up on her feet. All right. So, looks to me like we're a bit fucked. I suppose best bet is clear this one out, and if any friends show up, we may need to take cover until they leave.
Kill this stupid bastard.
I think that's doable.
You're
provided
about
we can
20
get in
feet
a hit.
away from him.
All right. I'm going to use Slayer's Prey. I focus my ire on the giant, and I'm pissed. This thing is not going to stop me from finishing my mission. I lob my other spear at him. Of course, that is my only other spear. I'll have to get my longbow after that, but I think probably with the amount of damage it can do, I'm better off just going and getting my spears off its corpse later. Is it still within 5 feet of Gorbjorn?
Yes.
Yeah, advantage. Oh. It's a 13 to hit for the better one.
Dice
Uh,
jail.
You
Dice
watch
jail.
spear
Pretty
flies
much.
forward and kind of lands next to Gorbjorn. Silently, a spear appears next to you, Gorbjorn.
Hoo-hoo.
I make some shape with my mouth, but no noise comes out.
Anything else, Nana?
Well, stood up, used bonus action for Slayer's Prey. I mean, unless you would consider it a free action to pull out my bow and get ready to knock an arrow.
Not with all the attacks, nah.
Valid. That's fair. I understand.
the
Then
stuff.
that's it. I'll
Um,
start that next turn.
It is now Big Boy's turn. He is going to attempt to see through this illusion once more into the fray. $13.
Nope. 14.
Ooh, if he didn't have that minus.
Oh.
If he wasn't dummy thick.
If he you watch as he turns his attention towards the monstrosity that is now running along the spine. He fully turns away from Gorbjorn
Oh.
and is going to attempt to swing its axe at it. What is the movement of this image?
It doesn't have a specific movement. It's just the target affected by the spell treats the phantasm as if it were real and rationalizes any logical outcomes from interacting with it. So it would be, or rationalizes any illogical outcomes. So it would just act
So
in the most logical way.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're kind of just visually making it smaller, like it's running away. You're like, oh, look, I'm running that way.
Yeah.
It is going to start some pursuit. Gorbjorn, you get an attack of opportunity if you'd like it.
Yes. That's a
Hmm.
natural 20.
Wow.
Ah,
Too bad it's not Great
Nice.
Weapon Master.
Stab the stick in
Still.
the back.
I'll take it.
Yep.
That's 2.
And plus, so that's 31 damage.
Whoa.
That's my number today.
Nice,
wow.
my dude. Nice.
Oh, he looks terrible now as
Woo!
turns away and starts to run after this creature. You see that he stumbles off the spine a bit as like a deep gash is put into the back of his calf. You watch as he stumbles, and it was hard to see because of the whiteout. It looks like in pursuit he bashes into something, forgetting that there's something in the way, and he kind of pushes off of it and begins to move past it. You see the snow fall off of this. It kind of just looked like a big mound of snow, like everything else. But as the snow falls away and the giant pushes off, you see a golden door off to the side, now visible next to the spine, but the spine keeps going. He is a little bit past it. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight.
Let me kill it.
Come on.
With this bleeding giant and this golden door that has become visible.
Oh man.
Thank you all so much for watching on the Backs of Gods. We are here every Monday, same time, same place. You can find us on Facebook at the Dice Cult. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Backs of Gods. Please come support us if you're able to. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much for being here, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye everybody.